Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. Guys, today we are continuing with the Ford KA, the gearbox, the clutch, and all those bits we was doing yesterday. This is part 2. And I think you're right. So in yesterday's video, in the comments, I was getting a few comments, people saying I should check the rear main oil seal behind the flywheel, which is correct. You are correct, because there was a leak coming from that between the gearbox and the actual engine. So you know that there's a possibility that is leaking. So we're gonna have to take the flywheel off to check that. So take off the clutch again that I just fitted. Remove the flywheel. But the only way really to remove that flywheel and to lock it is if we lock it from the other side. So because we're doing the timing belt, we can lock it from this side of the engine, and then the crank that runs right through, the crank shaft won't move because I've locked it on the other side. So then we can reinstall the flywheel. We can torque it up to what it should be and stuff like that. So that is what we're going to check today. I'm also going to speak to Parts Plus, which is the Ford parts company. You have to be like, you have to have an account. You can't just, Joe Blogs can't just go down, I don't think. So we are going to look at that today to see if we're going to have to change this main seal. I think we'll change it first, then I'll find out if they've got one. And then we'll go from there. So, yeah, a little bit of a twist in today's video because I don't know what's going to happen with the rear main oil seal. I've never done one before, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But there's always a first time for anything. So, let's get cracking. I'll set you up. Let's start stripping it down and locking that other side of the engine. Let's do this. Right, okay, well guys, that didn't take too long. Let me show you what I've done so far. So as you can see, the new clutch is back off. And then obviously I've kept the bolts and the fixing in that order. This is the flywheel with a shim that goes like that, and you can tell there's a little cut out in it there. See that little notchy thing there? But you can tell where the notch goes because there's a little notch there. So that's where it goes like that. And these are the bolts that we use to fix it back in. Got a little bit of Loctite on them, you see. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite, new Loctite myself, when we put this back on. But let me show you. Once I've taken the flywheel off, let me show you what I've found, and let me know what you think about this. So, it looks like to me there's some sort of work here on the sump, because we've got a little bit of sump sealant going around here. But I do actually think that it is the seal itself, which is this bit here, that is actually, I think it is actually leaking, because the highest point is there. You see where the oil is there. So yeah, I don't think the sump's leaking. I do actually think it's that seal, which is just a, you know, I did have a, I was thinking, well, do you know what I mean? Maybe the sump was leaking, and because it's spinning, it's throwing the oil everywhere. But I think it would throw it, if it was leaking like that, I think it would throw it around a bit more, maybe. I don't know, really. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? But I'm going to go with the seal, I think. We're going to change that seal. You can just see it like leaking just between the actual seal and the crank. Can you see that? Like just shining. So yeah. Right. Well, it is the seal. So I think let's change that. And we'll whip it over for a new one. Now, I've not taken one of these out before, but I think what you can do is put and put some screws into this, and then use that as a pulley, where you can pull off the screws to pull the actual thing, because there's not really anywhere you can get in there and sort of pull it out. So yeah, we're gonna have a little go at this, and then I'm gonna order a new one, and then we're gonna put that in and basically do the reverse of what I've just done with the flywheel. But we do need to lock. We need to lock the crank on this side. So we'll have to take this belt off, take these three screws out, and then take this plastic cover off that's here. And then there's a timing bar that's got 3 holes, and it comes up and it locks. So that'll lock the bottom crank on this side, using the timing tool to do the timing belt. Because I don't think this has never been done, this timing belt. Look, that sticker is on there solid. It's not even peeling a little bit. So that's not been done before. That's definitely the original belt. So we're definitely going to be doing the timing belt as well. You know, it's starting to add up, this car, isn't it? Just I can see now why he didn't want to throw a load more money at it, because it just needs so many different things. But once I've done all these bits and pieces and done all the stuff, it is going to be an absolutely solid little car. And it's going to be, someone's going to have a lovely little car to drive around for many, many years to come. But we've just got to get it all done. So let's get that seal out, and then we'll lock this side of the engine just so that it's done. And we'll do as much as we can until I have to go off and get this oil seal, because if I get them to deliver it, it ain't going to get here till like this afternoon, which is no good really. That's the next thing we need to do. So I need it sharpish. So let's get set up again. Let's do this. Right, okay. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Let me show you. I mean, getting it out, like, let me just put that there. So yeah, it wasn't as bad and as hard as I thought it was going to be. But we have got a little bit of oil sort of coming out of there, so I want to sort of put a tray underneath there. It's not a lot, but it's just a little bit there. Maybe that's just a little bit where it shouldn't really be there, I suppose, because the sump, I don't know actually. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'll put a little tray underneath there just in case it does drip out. But yeah, I managed to get it out. And how I've done it was using this, which is a slide hammer. And basically, I put a screw into it and then managed to get a good fix in with the side hammer and then use the slide hammer to pull it out. And it actually come out pretty easy. So, yeah, a little bit shocked about that, but that's definitely what I'll be using. If ever I need to do a rear main oil seal or anything like that, or any of those kind of seals, it's definitely worth using that slide hammer. Just get a good fix in on the actual screw, and then bang, just taps it straight out. Really, really good, easy actually. So yeah, we're kind of ready now. Well, I need to clean it up a little bit, I suppose. I'll put a bit of cleaner in there, brake cleaner, clean it all up, get it ready for the new one, and then we'll go from there. We'll put it in, but I need to go and get it, you see. So, but the other thing I've done as well is I've done it. I've got this side ready. So this is the crank here. So I need to lock this side, and how we do that is we use the locking tool, which is this is the set that comes with the locking sets with this Fiat 500 and KAs with these 1.2 engines. And then basically all you do, let's put it like that. All you do is you put that on like that, line up the holes of the screws, turn it to it's lined. This bit here has got to line up with that, so it's like this. Yeah. So you keep turning the crank around until those screws line up, and that top bolt lines up there. Put those bolts in like that, and that will lock the crank, so we can do up the flywheel bolts on the other side. Whew. This is becoming a very, very complicated job, but it's still worth saving. I think it's still worth chucking the time and the money at it, this car to save it, get it back on the road, get it how it should be. But it's a good job we're doing it, guys, because that is the original belt. 100% this is the original belt, and look how cracked it is. That is ready to go. So yeah, this wasn't changed either, but he did say that to me, the guy. He did say that, you know, they haven't changed the timing belt since they've had it, and they assume that it's the original one, and it is. So yeah, 2012, 70,000 miles, and that's the condition of the belt. So yeah, we've definitely got to change that. We've also got to change this belt as well, which is the auxiliary belt. Very, 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 very bad. So we'll get a new one of these as well. So again, the cost is starting to add up a little bit now, but it's, like I said, it's definitely worth it, guys. So I'm going to go off now. I'm going to grab that oil seal because they can't get to me actually until tomorrow morning now. That ain't no good. I need it now. So I'm going to shoot over there. Give me an hour. I'll come back, and we're going to carry on and get cracking with this one. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay. Guys, I am back with the crankshaft oil seal. So yeah, it's actually was about £30, £31, something like that, £30 79 or something like that. It's silly, but yeah, £31 for an oil seal. But we've got to get it done. We've got to get it changed. And this is what we're going to use. So I'm not sure if that's going to go around the actual crank. It might do. If it does, that'll help to push it in. We'll have to see. It might not. It might. We'll have a go. But I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up first in there. And then once it's all cleaned up, we're going to put this one in, put it in place. And then we're going to put the flywheel back on in place. And, yeah, basically just do the reverse of what we've just done when it comes to stripping the clutch off and taking the oil seal out, basically. Yeah, and you just tap it in with just a nylon little rubber mallet, and you just tap it in all the way around, get it seated properly where it should be, and then that's it. That seal is done. So I'll get you set up. Let's now do this. Right, okay, so let me show you guys what I've done. So there you go. Nice new oil seal. Yeah, all nice and tidy, all nice and neat, cleaned up. I'm going to leave, there's a little bit of mastic around where the sump is, and I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to mess around with that too much, really. You know, just in case I pull it away and it sort of pulls away a little bit away from the, you know, the joint or whatever. So I'm going to leave that. But yeah, it's nice and flush. It's sitting exactly where it should sit. So that's that done. Before we move on, I just want to quickly show you, even though it come out of this box, because this is a Ford KA, but this is a Fiat engine. And the packet that it come inside that has come with, obviously, the Fiat part number and branding. So that bag was in that Ford box. So yeah, I still believe it's a bit of a con, really. If you're buying a certain car, you expect them to, if the engine is different from the manufacturer, they should tell you. They should say, this is our car, you're buying this car, but it's got a Fiat engine. I think otherwise it's misleading. Manufacturers are misleading people about who's supplying the vehicles, who's supplying the car, who's supplying the engine. Yeah, that's another debate for another video. We need to crack on with this one. So yeah, let's get the flywheel on. I will give it a little rub down just to sort of just to protect it, you know, just rub it down a little bit just to clean it up a little bit. But it's not that bad. It's all right. It's pretty good. There's no wear on it. It's pretty good. So yes, let's continue, guys, putting this back together. Let's do this. Right, guys, here we go. All back together. Flywheel, clutch. Let me just get it out. And this plate as well. Had to go on the back first. Then the flywheel. And the bolts had to be put up to 35 Newton meters with a little bit of Loctite on the bolts as well. And then clutch in place with the clutch alignment tool there. Then put the clutch on, then put the bolts on. You do it like there, and then again. You just always do opposites until you get it right tight, and then you can torque them up. 25 Newton meters is the bolts for the plate. So I think we are now ready to put the gearbox back in place. So yeah, I'm absolutely knackered laying on the floor doing that. But yeah, let's carry on. We need to get this gearbox back in now. I actually got some gearbox oil, which is this one here. But it's a little bit thicker. Apparently, this is the best one to use, which is the 80W90, which is a little bit thicker gearbox oil, but it's better for these gearboxes, apparently. So I'm going to put that in. I've got 5 litres there. It's only going to take about 1.8, 1.9 litres in the gearbox, because I am going to actually change the gearbox oil on this one as well. So when we do a service on this one, the timing belt, the full service, we're going to drain the gearbox oil out of this and put that in here as well. Because this one, well, because the car was kind of on its side, we don't know if it's lost any gearbox oil. So I want to make sure that we empty it and refill it to the top where it should be. But that's for another day. That's for another video. We're doing this one today. Right. Okay. Let's get set up. Let's get this gearbox back in place now. I think we're ready to go for it. So, let's do this. Right, okay. Well, guys, we are clearing loads of the parts. Let me just say that first. It was going back together really, really well. I was just going through the motions, putting everything back on, doing up all the bolts, making sure that I'm sort of checking things as I'm going. All the bell housing bolts all the way around, make sure that each one has been done up tight. They are. Drive shafts are back in place. The lower beams back in place. And then I thought, do you know what? Let me just put the slave cylinder back in. And then I'm just going to check the clutch to make sure I've got a good clutch. And all of a sudden, I started using the pedal, and I thought, hold on a minute, I can hear dripping. And yes, we are dripping from the slave cylinder. So basically what's happened is, on the slave cylinder, you've got the connector here that goes into the slave cylinder. Just here, there's a pipe. There's a clip that goes in that connector. Hold on. There's a clip that goes right there on the slave cylinder that goes into the connector. It's not focusing, is it? Anyway, that that clip has popped out, and now it is, when I'm pushing the brake pedal, it's forcing the pipe outwards. It's not, the clip has gone, and it's not holding the pipe in place for me to press the brake pedal. Now, that was not removed. I do not remove. I always keep this together. Keep the slave cylinder, keep the pipe on, keep it connected, take it round there, wrap it round here so it's out of the way, but it's all still connected. So it must have just popped, because it's not there, basically. And it was there before, and I've not removed it. So yeah, and it's a very, very small clip. I don't think I'm going to have one, and it could have, it would have popped up. So it could be anywhere in this garage, on the floor. It could have bounced around, who knows, but I'll be absolutely lucky if I can find that clip to put it back on and fix it back down. I have got other parts, bits and pieces for like Fiat 500, so I'm always keeping bits for cars and stuff, and this is my Fiat 500 box, basically. It's not like that clip. It's more of a little metal retainer rather than a clip. I don't think I'm going to find this, guys. I don't think I've got one. No, I don't think I've got one. I'll check my Fiat 500 big box just to check to see if I have, but what a nightmare. What a nightmare. It's gone somewhere. It's just pinged out. I'm going to get the big torch out and just see if I can see it shining on the floor. Yeah. What a nightmare, eh? So, yeah. I'm going to leave it there for today. We can't carry on anyway. I haven't got the timing belt, so I can't really carry on sort of taking this out. And I want to wait for the timing belt to turn up and the water pump, so we can do that. We can finish off that. We can put all the bumper pack on and just get, one more video, and then we should be finished and done with this car. But, we have done the oil seal now. The clutch is in place. The gearbox is back on. Everything's starting to go back together. It's just that as soon as that happened, it just threw me. I was like, oh, no. So I'm going to leave it there. That's going to be the end of today's video. Part 2 done on the KA. Don't forget, guys, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. How's it going? What a plum by losing that clip, I know. But it was definitely worth changing that oil seal crankshaft, because it was definitely leaking, wasn't it? So it was nice that we've done that as well. But yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Give the video a thumbs up, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you soon.